Now friends, we are moving to another group, that is alkene. Again with the next group we have to do the same thing. Preparation, property which is physical and chemical, and application which is conversion and test. So test I will tell you in a whole in alkyne chapter, because it is a comparative study, like test with alkene and alkane, test with the alkene and alkyne. So you need a comparative study, so I will tell you together. Now first we have to again go for the preparation. So in preparation we have a reaction Rx, that is alkyl halide, react with the alcoholic QH, that will give you respective alkene plus KX plus H2O. So this reaction is known as the dehydrohalogenation, because D means removal. D means always removal in chemistry language. So hydro means water and halo means halogen. So it is removing halogen and and water. So it is called dehydrohalogenation. So let's take an example. Rx plus alcoholic QH gives you alkene plus KX plus H2O. So whatever the R you will take, you will get the same number of alkene. For example, let's take, we are taking CS3, CS2Cl, CS3, CS2Cl. So this H I have purposely written in this way so that you can understand which H is going where. So this H is extracted, although it is a CS3, and when this CS2 has Cl. So when it reacts with the KOH, so K always react with the halogen. So it will give you KCl. While this OH left, that will always form a water. So this OH will take what hydrogen from air, so to form water. So your reaction will be CH3CH2Cl plus alcoholic QH gives you CH2CH2, because CH2CH2 is left, plus KCl plus H2O. Now suppose you take propene here, propyl chloride. So it will give you propene. You take butyl chloride, it will give you butene. Pentyl chloride will give you pentene. So this reaction will build up like that way. So if you remember one concept, so alkane to alkene, how it is made. So you know how to make this alkyl halide to alkene. So ethyl chloride to ethene, propyl chloride to protein, butyl chloride to butene, pentyl chloride to pentene. So this way you can go on with the many reactions. Now next example, we have dehydration, that is means only removal of water. So you take any alcohol with any number of carbon, so that will give you alkene in the presence of concentrate H2SO4 and 433 Kelvin. Water is removed. So dehydrohalogenation. Let's take one example of this. Again, this H I have taken purposely out. So basically it is a CS3, CS2OH. So this OH from one group and next hydrogen from the next carbon, that will always form a water. So your left brain portion is CH2CH2. So that will give you CH2CH2 to automatically, just to balance the carbon, it will go in a double bond formation. So this is CH2, a removal of water is here. So you take ethyl alcohol, so that will give you ethene. You take propyl alcohol, that will give you propene. You take butyl alcohol, that will give you butane. You take pentyl alcohol, that will give you pentane. So this is your preparation of alcohol to alkene. Now next preparation we have vicinal dihalide with the zinc, that will give you alkene plus ZnCl2. Vicinal dihalide means two halogens should be side by side. That is called vicinal dihalide. So if these two halogens are on the one carbon, that is called geminal. So geminal won't give you alkene, only vicinal will give you alkene. So you have to keep in the mind that two halogens should be side by side, means there should be a vicinal form. So when you react with this zinc, so this zinc is very reactive, metal is very reactive with the halogen. So this zinc will take two halogens. So left hand portion is CH2CH2, ultimately it will attain the double bond. So this will give you CH2 double bond CH2 plus ZnCl2. Same way if you take propene vicinal dihalide, propane vicinal dihalide, so will give you propene. Same way butane vicinal dihalide give you butene. Pentyl vicinal dihalide give you pentane. So this is the way you can make alkene with the vicinal dihalide. Your next reaction, fourth preparation, is a coal-based electrolysis. In coal-based electrolysis, just see this portion, black portion, is your succinate group. So suppose you put here potassium, so that will give potassium succinate. Suppose you give sodium here, so that will give sodium succinate. Same way you can just make all the compound. Now, in some book potassium is written, in some book sodium is written, so hardly matter. Whatever the book you consult, so concept will remain same. So when this is undergone the electrolysis. So where we need two molecules of the water. This is H2O basically. So when potassium succinate react with two molecules of the water, so this OH and this K, this OH and this K, that will give you twice of KOH. This H and this H, that will remove as a hydrogen, and this CO2 that will come as a CO2, so twice of CO2. Left behind is CH2 and CH2, ultimately that will come into double bond. So your reaction potassium succinate will react with the twice of HOH in the presence of electricity, that will give you ethene plus twice of CO2 plus twice of KOH plus H2. So this is your preparation of alkene. Now let's come to the properties. In properties, this is means we will use always alkene, and we will do some reaction with that. So first reaction, which I have already told you in the alkene formation, you take any alkene, react with the H2, that will give you alkene. So this H and H, that is nothing but H2. I have written it separately. There is a purpose for this to understand it. So one H will go to this carbon, one H will go to this carbon, double bond will be broken. So overall you will get CH3 and CH3. I have written here as a CH3, CH3. So this is your ethane. Now suppose you take Cl2. So one Cl will go at this end, one Cl will go at this end. So you will get 1,2 dichloroethane, and double bond will be broken after addition. Same way you can take Br2. So one Br will go here, one Br will go here. So 1,2 dibromoethane. Same way you take HOH, which is again a water. So one H will go at this end and one OH will go at this end. So you will get CH2 with H. So that will become CH3, CH2 and OH, CH2OH. So ethene with ethene with water gives you ethyl alcohol. Same way propene with water gives you propyl alcohol. Butane with water gives you butyl alcohol. So this is the way your reaction proceed. Now same way, suppose we are adding HBr here. So one H will go to this carbon, one Br go to this carbon. So ultimately double bond will be broken. So you will get CH3, CH2Br in this form, and that is a bromoethane. Instead of HBr, if you take HCl, so one H will go here, one Cl will go here. So you will get chloroethane. Same way you take HI, so one H will go at this end, one I will go to this end. So that will give you CH3, CH2I, and that is called iodoethane. So this is all your addition reaction on double bond. So double bond with these undergo addition reaction. So this is your concept. Now friends, we have certain notes in alkene. Note first, suppose we have two vicinal halogen in the mid order. So just keep in the mind, so double bond will be always formed between two halogens, not anywhere else. So in this case, suppose you are adding Zn. So you see carefully. So that will give you double bond in the middle position. So here the halogen is on the second and third carbon. So your double bond will be formed at second and third carbon. So this will give you 2,3 dichlorobutane plus zinc. That will give you 2 butene plus ZnCl2. So just keep in the mind that double bond will be formed only between the two halogens. Now suppose the halogens are in a different position. So when halogen will remove, so this end will attach with this band, so it will convert into cycloform. So we have a cycloalkane, cycloalkene, cycloalkyne, which I have told you nomenclature. You can look my topic of the nomenclature, so you can find all those names there. So in this case, it will go in a cycloformation. So zinc will react with two halogens. So this end will attach with this one to form the carbon valency 4. So this will give you cyclopropane plus ZnCl2. So this is your note number 1. So you have to keep this in your mind. Now note number 2. Suppose the halogen group or OH group is in the middle order, and you are doing your dehydration reaction and dehalogenation reaction. So in this case, double bond will be formed. Double bond will be formed toward the side having maximum carbon, and this is called your Sedgwick rule. So when the double bond will form, so double bond will form in this side because the number of carbons are more there. Here it will give a very small quantity, but majority of the quantity it will give double bond on this side. So if you see carefully, when we react with this reaction, the alcoholic QS, so double bond is formed toward the side having maximum carbon, which is Sedgwick rule. So this will be your major quantity, and at this point it is a minor quantity, it's a very small quantity. So we always consider the major quantity. So whenever you are applying this concept, so you can apply for major quantity, and you have to think your mind that it is a major quantity. We always have to consider minor we will leave. So this will 2-chlorobutane will give you 2-butene. Same way, suppose OH group is there. We have done the dehydration reaction, removal of hydrogen. So H will be taken from here, not from here. Here it is a minor quantity, here it is a major quantity. So it will again give you 2-butene plus H2O, which is a major quantity, and 1-butene is a minor quantity, very small quantity. So again, double bond will be formed toward the side having maximum carbon, and that is your Sertzev rule. This rule will be used when you are to change the position of double bond. So this is an important rule. So whenever I will use this rule, so I will simply name this rule. So you have to remember all this, what happened in that rule. Next, note number 3. Suppose we have double bond and we are going to add HiHCl, HOH and HBr and so on. So just keep in the mind, as per the IUPAC name, first member is always cation, second member is always anion. So here in Hi, this is cation, this is anion, this is negative charge. This is cation, this is anion, negative charge. This is cation, this is anion, negative charge. This is cation, positive charge. This is anion, negative charge. So in such cases, when you have a double bond, so negative part will always go to the carbon having least or minimum, having least number of hydrogen, and this is called your Markovnikov rule. Just keep it. Negative part will always go to the carbon having least number of hydrogen, and that is called Markovnikov rule. Now how it is applied, let's see. Let's take example of propene. So this carbon has a less number of hydrogen, so negative part will go to only this carbon. So it will give you 2-iodopropane. Suppose we are taking HCl, so negative part will go to the carbon having least number of hydrogen, again Markovnikov rule. So you will get 2-chloropropane. Same way HOH, which is water. So OH is a negative part, that will go to the least number carbon having hydrogen. So it will give you 2-propanol. Same way HBr, that will give you 2-bromopropane. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4 all following the Markovnikov rule. Negative part go to the carbon having least number of hydrogen. So this rule is also important. This rule is also important. So just keep in the mind whenever we use it in the reactions. So I will name the reactions so you understand what is the importance of this reaction. So Sertzev rule and Markovnikov rule, important one. Now next concept. Suppose we are having same condition but HBr. See, it is only with HBr, not with HCl, HOH and HI, only with HBr. In this case, suppose HBr is added with peroxide. So reverse will happen. H will go to the carbon having least number of hydrogen. Just keep in mind, only with HBr, in the presence of peroxide, H will go to the carbon having least number of hydrogen. And this is called anti-Markovnikov rule, which is opposite to this. It is also known as peroxide effect. It is also known as Kharash effect. Means one concept has 3 names. So this is the anti-Markovnikov, peroxide effect or Kharash effect. So in this case you will get a product. This Br will go to the carbon with maximum hydrogen, or this H will go to the carbon having least number of hydrogen. So this will give you, propene will give you with the HBr and peroxide CH3, CH2, CH2, Br. So this is your anti-Markovnikov rule. So these 3 are very important concept, how to make the cyclo and how, when double bond is from where, Markovnikov rule or anti-Markovnikov rule. These terms will be used again and again in application and even in the reaction. So you have to keep this in your mind. Now friends, we have a next property of the alkene, that is called ozonolysis. So in case 1, what we do, when we react any alkene with ozone, that is O3. So just keep in the mind, it breaks the double bond and ozone adjusts itself according to its valency. So here double bond is here. So double bond will be broken down and O3 will be adjusted like that. So this is O, O, O. So each oxygen has 2 valency, each carbon has 4 valency. So whatever the molecule we take here, so just put a word here, ozonide. So this is made from the ethene. So it is ethene ozonide. Suppose it is from propene. So propene ozonide, butene ozonide, pentene ozonide, hexene ozonide. So you have to simply put the word ozonide with the main reactant compound. Now when you put Zn here, so Zn is very reactive with the oxygen. So one oxygen will be taken by the Zn, so it will form ZnO. Rest of the oxygen will be, bond will be broken, and at that time each carbon will carry one oxygen. So here product is CH2O, so this is CH2O, CH2O, this is CH2O, and one oxygen carried with the Zn, so it is ZnO. So here you got the product. Now this CH2O is nothing but it's a SCHO, SCHO and ZnO. So this is your about ozonolysis. Now here the molecule can change, but the concept will remain same. Let's take another example, next case. So we have taken a propene, react with the ozone. So you see here, double bond is broken, oxygen is adjusted between the two carbon having double bond. So double bond is broken here. After that, when you put the zinc here, so each carbon will take one oxygen and one oxygen will be taken by the Zn. So you will get the product CH3CHO, CH2O, that is CH3CHO ethanol, CH2O, that is methanol, and plus ZnO. You can do it directly also. You put O3Zn, so you will get the directly also. Same way you can do it here directly, O3Zn, so you will get the product directly. Now let's take another example, that is with the butene, that is 2-butene. So wherever you find the double bond, ozonolysis will take place only on the double bond. So now this ozone will be adjusted here at this double bond position. So this will give you CH3, CH, and with the O adjustment, so O with the the double bond with this 2 valency, sorry. So and that is CH and CH3. So again you put the zinc here, so one oxygen will be carried by the zinc and each carbon will take one oxygen. So this will give you CH3CHO, CH3CHO. So you will get the 2 molecule of CH3CHO, CH3CHO plus 1 molecule of ZnO. Just keep in mind for the concept, whenever there is a straight chain with one double bond, so this will always give you aldehyde. There may be 2 double bond also in dienes, trines, concept will remain same. So diene, trines are not in your course, so I am just stick myself to the your syllabus. So chain always will give you aldehyde. So this you have to keep in the mind. So I have taken 3 examples. So there may be keep on increasing the carbon both the side, but concept will remain same. Now next concept or next case is, suppose double bond has a branch. So it is nothing to do with the branch. Branch will remain as a branch. Only oxygen, this double bond part will be broken down as it has done previously. So this ozone is adjusted here. So this CH3, let's write it in a tilted way. CH3, this one, C double bond, C single bond O, CH2 single bond O. So oxygen has 2 valency. It is adjusted. Again, this is 2-methyl 1-propene. So this is called 2-methyl propene ozonoide. So this is your concept. Now you take the Zn at the same we have done previously. So Zn will take one oxygen. So this will remain with CH3COCH3. Here it is CH2O. So your product is CH3COCH3, that is propanol, and this is CH2O, that is formaldehyde or methanol, and plus ZnO. So this is your concept. So if you have one branch, you will get one ketone. So branch will always give you ketone. Just keep in the mind, straight chain will give you aldehyde, while the branch will give you ketone. So you can do it directly also. Now let's take double bond has 2 branches. So you will get oxygen broken down with the this double bond is broken down with the ozone. So O is adjusted here with the red one I have marked it. So when it will broke with the presence of Zn, so that will in the presence of Zn. So this will give you CH3, CO, CH3, CH3, CO, CH3. So you will get 2 molecules of the propanol and plus ZnO. So you can write it directly here, 2 propanol plus ZnO. So this is your concept. So carbon number may increase, but the concept will remain same. So ozonolysis will always take place at double bond. This is your main concept. If it is a straight chain, that will give you aldehyde, maybe same, maybe mixture. When it is a branch chain, so it will give you always ketone. Branch will give you ketone. This is the concept you have to keep in the mind. Now sometime in the book question comes opposite. They give you product and they ask you the base element, base alkene. So what you do in that condition? You just make the structure and keep both oxygen of both the molecules. It may be any molecule. Maybe aldehyde, maybe ketone, maybe aldehyde mixture, maybe ketone mixture, maybe aldehyde ketone mixture. It can be anything. Just keep the 2 oxygen in front of each and remove the oxygen and join the double bond. So when you remove the oxygen, you join the double bond, so you will get the alkene. So when you go for isolysis of this alkene, this will give you this. When you remove oxygen, that will give you alkene. So this question generally comes with the reverse. So they give you product, they will give you product and they will ask you basic alkene. So you can do this question by this way also. Now friends, we have another topic, that is another property of alkene. So alkene when undergo oxidation with the cold or dilute KMnO4, which is known as the Bayer's reagent. See, oxidizing agent basically supply the oxygen. So whenever you are using any oxidizing agent, don't try to balance the oxygen with them, because they supply number of oxygen whatever the amount you require. So never balance oxygen with any oxidizing agent like K2Cr2O7, KMnO4, HNO3, concentrate plus bromine plus water and so on. There are so many oxidizing agents are there, they will be used. So I will keep on telling that this is the oxidizing agent. So keep in the mind when I speak about the oxidizing agent, never balance the oxygen, but other atom you have to balance it. So let's take first example with it. So suppose I am taking an example, thrice of CH2 double bond CH2 with twice of KMnO4 plus 4H2O, that is coming with the balance. So that will be thrice of CH2OH, CH2OH. So concept is whenever you find any alkene with the cold or dilute KMnO4, so it will always give you diol. Means it will produce two OH group on double bond only. So here it was a one double bond here. So both will have OH groups, and that is called 1,2 ethane diol. Okay, common name is also called glycol. Plus twice of Mn2 plus 5 of KH. Now suppose you want to do this reaction directly, you don't want to write the product here in this way. So you can do this way also. CH2 double bond CH2, on the arrow put KMnO4 and H2O. So that will give you diol. So this way and this way, both the you can write, both are acceptable in the examination. Now suppose we have a 3 carbon, but double bond is here 1 and 2 between this. So you will get a double bond on the same position. Break the bond, put a double bond. So this is 1,2 propane diol. Suppose this double bond is coming in the middle. So this is 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is 2 and 3 position. So you will get the double bond on second and third position. So this is your 2,3 butane diol. So this is your name. Naming, I have made a separate chapter for the nomenclature. So anybody who hasn't seen that video, so you can see for naming, that include aliphatic, aromatic, cyclic and heterocyclic, homocyclic, all types of multiple groups, all bonding is there. So there I have given a lecture in that for naming, so you can find the naming from there. Now the same concept if you are taking with the hot and concentrate H2S, concentrate KMnO4. So that is concentrate KMnO4 basically. So in this you have to just keep in the mind, suppose we have this condition CH2 with double bond, so that will always convert into CO2 plus water. Second, suppose we have CH double bond with R, so only R will remain same, nothing change will happen in the R, only CH double bond portion will convert into COH group. Suppose we have a R, C, R and double bond is there, so only C double bond position will change into ketone, rest there will be no change. So just keep these three concepts in mind, so you don't have to remember the reaction. So here R can be any number, but concept will remain same. So basically this topic includes only three concepts. You remember these three concepts, so you don't have to mug up the reaction. Now let's take first case, A example. Suppose we have CH2 double bond CH2 and we are using hot and concentrate KMnO4. So now see, this portion is coming in the category of CH2 double bond and CH2 double bond, so this is falling in this category. So ultimately the product is CO2 and H2O. So there are two carbons, so twice of CO2 plus twice of H2. That is very simple. Now suppose I am taking another example with 3 carbons. So double bond is here. So this category is falling into this one and this is falling into this one. So this will convert into CO2 plus water and this will convert into this category COH. So your product will be CH3COH plus CO2 plus water. This is your concept again used. Now suppose double bond has a different position. So now break the carbon. So this category CH3CH double bond means that is coming in this category. And CH3CH double bond again this is coming in this category. So ultimately with hot and concentrate KMnO4 you will get CH3COOH from this and CH3COH from this. So both are CH3COH, CH3COH, so you can write it twice of CH3COH. Concept is same. Now I'm creating a branch. Next example. Suppose we have CH3, C double bond CH3. So this is coming in this way. CH3, C double bond CH3. Here it is a R, here it is CH3. R can be anything. Instead of CH3, there can be ethyl, propyl, butyl, pentyl, any carbon can there. But only this concept will remain same. So this part coming in this category and this part is coming in this category. So you will get ketone here. So CH3, C double bond O CH3, that is ketone, propanone, and this part will convert into CO2 plus water. Next one is CH3C, CH3 double bond CH and CH3. So this one part is coming in this category and one part is coming in this category. So you will get your compound CH3, C double bond O ketone, CH3, that is propanone, and plus ethanoic acid. Here suppose I am giving you two branches on the double bond. So here what is the one branches? It is two branches. So again same concept, you break this from this end. So you will get both the category falling in this segment. So what came in a 4, you will get CH3 COCH3, that is propanone, again CH3 COCH3, that is propanone. So you can write it twice of CH3 COCH3, you will get your answer. So this is the way. Just keep these three in mind, you will solve your many problems. Now friends, we have a next property that is called polymerization. In polymerization, what you will do, you will take an alkene and in the presence of oxygen or peroxide, just break this bond and make single bond on each side and remove this double bond from here. So it is N number, so this will give you molecule like that. So it is a ethene, so the product will be always, just put a poly word before the main molecule. Initial molecule, just put the poly word. So this is ethene, so it is giving you polythene. Same way, suppose there is more word attached to this double bond, so rest of the word will be a side chain. Double bond will always undergo polymerization, so you have to keep this in your mind. So in this case, CH3 goes on the upside and this double bond converts into polymer. So it is a propene, so it gives you polypropene. Same way we have a vinyl chloride, that is ethene chloride, basically common name is a vinyl chloride. So when you react with in the presence of oxygen or peroxide, so it will give you polyvinyl chloride, that is PVC. So this is your polymerization of any alkene. So you can take any alkene group, butene, pentene, hexene and so on. You can just go for polymerization like that. Next is your melting and boiling point and solubility. See, I told you in my alkane topic, the concept, it will be applicable to alkane, alkene, alkyne, alcohol, aldehyde, ketone, all the groups it will be the same. So same concept is used here. So this concept I have told you in my chapter alkane. So just see my video of the alkane and see the melting and boiling point concept and solubility concept. Same concept you have to apply for the alkene. So all those concepts will be applicable to alkene also. Next property of the alkene is isomerism. So isomerism, I have made separate chapter for this. So here right now I am telling you, for the detail you can look into my chapter of polymerization or isomerism. Sorry, isomerism. So alkene show chain position geometrical. Three type of isomerism it is shown by the alkene. And geometrical has two parts, cis and trans. So it shows three type of the isomerism. Next part, which is important, that is the application or conversion. So first concept in a conversion we come across with alkane to alkene. You have to convert any alkane group into alkene group. So what you do, first you take that alkane, react with the X2 and just go for the reaction. So it will give you RS plus HS. This we have done in the preparation properties of the alkane. So we have taken this concept from the properties of alkane. Now this RX, when we react with alcoholic KOH, that gives you alkene. So this we have taken the concept from the preparation of alkene. Just mix these two concepts. So main concept is take alkane, react with the X2, gives you RX plus HS. In second step, you take RX plus alcoholic KOH, that will give you alkene. So for converting alkane to alkene, we have a roadmap 3. So these two steps will give you desired alkene. Now in this, suppose I'm giving an example. You are converting ethane to ethene. So take ethane, react with Cl2 according to this, give you CH3, CH2Cl plus HCl. In second step, take CH3, CH2Cl, that will give you ethene plus KCl plus H2O, dehydrohalogenation reaction. We have already done that. So if you see my videos sequence wise with an alkane, alkene, alkyne, so it will be very easy for you, because this concept is built up on the previous topic. This concept you cannot read from the middle one. So just go with the sequence. So same way we can convert propane to propene, butane to butene, pentane to pentene, hexane to hexene, heptane to heptene, and so on. So if you remember these two, so you can have many reactions about this. Now suppose we have to make the alkane to alkene, but this time we have to make with the double carbon. So double carbon means that ethane to butene, ethanol to butene, propanol to hexene, means you have to make the carbon double. So for that concept that is your roadmap number 4. You first take alkane, react with H2RX. So this is your first step. From there, now this twice of RX plus twice of dry ether, first make the alkane double. That is a Woods reaction we have done in the alkane portion. So first method, two method you add from the previous one. So alkane to H2, RX, HX, twice of RX plus twice of Na dry ether gives you double carbon, twice of NH. Rest two methods are the same. So again take RR, this time you have double carbon. So it will give you double carbon halide. So react with the H2 gives you alkyl halide with the double carbon. Alkyl halide again react with the alcoholic H, you will get the alkene plus KX plus H2O dehydrogenation. But this time you will get a double carbon alkene. So this is your concept. So roadmap number 4. Now more advanced. Suppose you want to convert any aldehyde, any alcohol, any ketone, any carboxylic acid into alkene. So what you do? First you convert this aldehyde into alkane. This we have done. I have taught you in the previous topic, that is alkane. So aldehyde converted into alkane, alcohol converted into alkane, ketone converted into alkane, carboxylic converted into alkane. That is will be HI. So HI and red phosphorus, all these will convert into alkane. Rest two methods are same. So first, so this will basically roadmap 3 will increase, roadmap 5 will increase one more step. So I don't have to write the roadmap for this one because you know already. So with this 3, just add one topic that aldehyde and ketones and carboxylic alcohols convert into alkane, alkane to the alkene method is the same. So there can be so many various questions. I will give you the questions with this, you practice it. And when I will finish the alkyne, so I will take all these questions together and one video I will make only for conversion. So there you can get your all the questions there. Right now after finishing this topic, I will write only questions. So this question you can try yourself, or if you can do it, it's a good. Otherwise, you can find the answers in my conversion part of the video. Next, suppose you want to convert this into alkene but with double carbon. So here it is a one more addition. So first you convert all this group into alkane like this. You have done it here. Alkane to first you convert into RX, then make it double here. Then after doubling it, rest two methods are same. So I don't have to make another roadmap for this. So you can just think about it and just write the roadmaps, see the question, and now you can solve your questions. Now I am giving you around 50-60 questions. You try it yourself and try to find out the answer. If you don't know, then see my video. I will explain all those questions. I will solve all those questions in that. Now friends, I am giving you certain questions, whatever I have taught you till now, and all these questions can be solved only from these parameters. So just try this question yourself, and after alkyne chapter, I will take more conversions from the alkyne chapter also, and after taking the alkyne chapter conversions, I will, and including all these, I'll just make a one video for solution of all these questions. So just keep in the mind, note it down somewhere, try it, and if suppose you find more conversions or more questions based on the conversion from any book, competition book, or from your own syllabus or writer's books, just give me the comment, sir, this is the question. I will include that question also. And please, when you send a question, you also mention your school, your state, and your name also. That I will mention in the video. Okay, this question is asked by this person from this school, from this state. So just try these questions. So the questions are ethane to ethene, ethanol to ethene, ethanoic acid to ethene, ethine to ethene, ethanol to ethene, ethane to butene. It is a doubling of the concept. Ethanol to butene, ethanoic acid to butene, ethyne to butene, ethene to butene. Next is a propane to propene, propanol to propene, propanoic acid to propene, propanol to propene, propanoic acid to propene. Next, propane to 1 chloropropane, propane to 2 chloropropane, propane to 1, 2 dichloropropane. Next question is propanone to 1 bromopropane, propanone to 2 bromopropane, 1, 2 dibromopropane. Same way propanoic acid to 1 iodopropane, propanoic acid to 2 iodopropane, propanoic acid to 1, 2 diiodopropane. Same way propanoic acid to 2 propanol. Here question comes 25th one, the butane to 1 chlorobutane, butane to 2 chlorobutane, butane to 1, 2 dichlorobutane, butane to 2 butanol, same way butanol to butane, then butanol to 1 butene, butanol to 2 butane. This is the positioning. Here you have to use the Setzeff rule. So butanol to 2 butanol. Here you have to use the Markovnikov rule. I'm just giving you hints so that you can solve the question. Then butanol to ethanoic acid. It is a ozonolysis. Thus this is your hint. So just keep on writing the hint also so that you can do the question. Now butanoic acid to butane, butanoic acid to butene, butanoic acid to 1 bromobutane, butanoic acid to 2 bromobutane, butanoic acid to 1, 2 dibromobutane, butanoic acid to 2 butanol. Same way, butanol, that is an aldehyde, butanol to 1 iodobutane, butanol to 2 iodobutane, butanol to 1, 2 diiodobutane, and butanol to 2 butanol. So these are the questions I am giving you for practice, and approximately 20-25 questions will come from the alkyne group also. So this will be around your 70 or 70-80 conversions. Plus I will try to make more conversions so that let's make it a 100 one. Or meanwhile you can send me your conversions. So this is the way. So when you send a conversion, just write your school name, you write your name and your state, so that I can mention while making the video, this question is asked by this person from this school, from this state. Okay. So these are the questions for practice. You tried. In next video you find the solution of all.